Hello guys, well as promised I'm going to put together this chart of lines. Now if you search on my YouTube channel you'll find search for lines and you'll find a load of videos of how I do this and how I've done it for years now and why I do it. And the reason why I do it is when I've not had time like the weekend to build a trade plan for the following day like I did for yesterday, and that worked out extremely well. Then last night I didn't have time to study charts, and I wasn't in the zone with anything but Euro NZD, so I needed to do a little bit of homework. And I thoroughly recommend you do this to get yourself in the zone, guys. You know, all you need to do is pick your chart and then do as I am doing here. So what I'm concerned about is anything that may affect price for my scalping. You know, I want 6 or 7 pips in the morning, minimum 5 really, but you have to take what the charts will give you. If they only give me 3, I'll take that trade. I am that confident of how price hits various levels, and when you add to it this wonderful histo alert here, then it is just solid gold in my opinion. Trend analysis, support and resistance, and a simple RSI histogram. Solid. So what do I think will affect the price on this chart? Well, this resistance level on this monthly chart here has not been closed through, broken and closed through with this down move, so that is definitely a contender. And as always, start on the left hand side of your charts, guys, so to find your old levels of support and resistance that may affect price. Excuse me. We're only talking about the left hand side, this swing here. You don't need to go any further because price has been broken upwards, you know, support here with this candle here, and not been broken to the downside as yet, here, here or here. Okay, so this low needs to be drawn on, although being a monthly chart it's miles away from us at the moment. And then we need, that's all that I consider to affect price, the critical levels, that is. You could put a flip area in here, and that's why I mentioned critical levels, but that's a zone. The extremes of the candles are the critical levels, the low of that one, the high of that one. They've not been broken through. This is just my opinion, that's the way I trade. So what else can we see on this chart? Well, you know, we've needed a load more levels in, but before I forget to mention it, the RSI histo alert is lower than that red low there, 1746 and 1786 minus. So it could change. We're only halfway through the month, not quite, and that could turn green and be above zero for all I care, well, for all we know. And this could turn green and be looking to attack the reversal levels. So what else can we tell from this chart? We've got a reversal to the long side, big monster one, low, high, high, low, higher, high. It's closed above all of these resistance levels, here, here and here. And this one's critical because once we close above resistance, what happens? Price pops back. Not every time, not 99% of the time, but quite often. And the way we trade it is wait for the reversals and then just take as many pips as we can from the down move. This has not reversed to the downside yet. This is an inside bar, so strictly speaking, this low here is the reversal level to close below, which is possibly why we are pushing to the downside now. We've clearly got a massive trend in place, high, low, lower high, lower low, loads of red candles. This is the pullback north. This is also a very interesting little sort of small candle by comparison to this one, because that is just your sideways, that is your swing 4 the distribution phase in a downtrend, where they're gathering all the long orders into the market and then blasting them their stops, and vice versa. Anyone that's thinking of going long will have been faked into the move and taken out, and short as well. Sorry, I do apologise. And you know, this happens all the time as well. Big green bar, pullback, continuation. Big red bar, pullback, continuation. You know, and on the monthly, it tends to happen in one bar, the pullback. One big red bar, pullback. I don't often mention that either, but this is something I noticed a long time ago. So something to be aware of when you're assessing what might be happening on the monthly charts. So I'm bearish on this for reasons I've just explained. So this needs to be broken through before we continue any further down. So that's an important level. We need to put on today's levels as well, because we've got a wick there and that's got to be broken through. That's created a push to the long side. We might as well put the highs on there as well, although I'm not expecting it to get anywhere near those, but it certainly doesn't hurt, and it's best practice. Likewise with this recent support there. Sorry, that one caught onto the wrong candle. This one here, if it was to break up, then this would be the first area that would be tested. Old support tested as new resistance. So we stick that on there, and it hasn't been tested yet, so if this turns around, then that's going to be one area that would be a potential target. So disregarded that candle because it is an inside bar. It's not either higher than that high or lower than that low. It's debatable whether it's a trend reversal bar. I tend to prefer to use the proper bars and not inside bars, but do your own research on that. If you like to use them, then by all means do. Be prepared for potential failures, and that might well be the reason why, using inside bars as your trend reversal bar. So that's as much as we can do on the monthly. You could draw a descending trend line, but we can do it better on the weekly, and an ascending trend line there, but that would be tidier on the weekly, no doubt. So weekly levels, this is the highest high. I checked it. This is a retake of a video because I messed up the previous one, so I know that is the highest high. So that's high, low, nothing here because it's not an inside bar, but the high is negated by this new high here. So lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We need to break below this green candle here, much the same as the monthly situation. So as such, this becomes a potential target. Anything support wise in the way needs to be closed through as well. So because obviously these will be massive levels on a daily chart. There, these two here, there. Oops, not sure where that one went. I think it went to there actually, but we'll put another level on there. And again, we can look at the weekly low, because that will be in our way as a intraday trader. And that's it. And we've got a lovely great big candle here, which potentially gives us free space once we break below this low here. Confirm, pull back, continuation potential. Histo alert is telling us short again. Not sure whether we have yet broken below the low of that one to create a bust and break close. 86249. We haven't closed, of course. No, and this one, double check it. 9. So it is below. So it's very bearish again. And it's below the low of that one, should I say. Could change colour again, of course. And nothing's over till the fat lady or the bar closes. Fat lady sings, bar closes. So that's all we can tell from that, really. Once again, we are bearish. Daily, now we start to get into the real meat and potatoes of this. As you can see, there's a lot of lines here, but it all clarifies itself when you get down to the 1 minute, 5 minute. In fact, if we do that, let's go to the 15 minute. You can see you've got lots of fresh air between price and potential support and resistance levels. Lots of nice gaps to trade. Okay, so apologies if that looks scary on the daily chart, but it is necessary to clear your head. So let's zoom in again and see what the daily is telling us. In fact, I'm going to save this as part 1 and come back and start part 2 on the daily chart. In fact, we'll zoom out a touch, and this is part 1.